Hey guys, did you know that the way you move pressure in your feet can have a huge impact on what you do in your golf swing? This week we're going to talk about it. All right guys, so I had a player out here in Vegas the other day and he had a disastrous time making solid contact. Now, we got to the problem and it had to do with how his pressure was moving in the initial part of his backswing, right? So this player got into a situation where his pressure set up too far in the toes, right? He got here, tucked towards the golf ball. Then when he initially started his backswing, he moved his pressure and his balance points backwards towards his heels to get it back into the balls of the feet. Now, in the beginning part of the backswing, that led to a major issue, right? He has now moved farther away from the golf ball. So coming into the strike, he had to try and compensate for that by throwing his arms away from his body, and that caused a lot of major contact issues. So this week, we're going to talk about some of the biggest things that I see when it comes to pressure movement, either at setup and in the backswing and then into the downswing on a weekly basis while I'm teaching lessons. But if you don't mind, before that, if you could hit like, subscribe to this video, maybe even leave a comment about something you struggle with, I would greatly appreciate that. All right, so one of the major issues I see from players is how they set up, okay? So when we get set up to a golf ball, one of the keys that we want is to feel the pressure in the balls of the feet, okay? I'm the type of guy who likes the player to get in here and have the balls of the feet, the kneecaps, back of the armpits with the pelvis under them. But even if you get back, you need to find a balance point that's going to put you in the balls of your feet when you set up. If you're a player that gets everything pushed towards the toes, right, and we start seeing this lean back, there is going to be a movement where you recenter. And then you'll run into that issue where you have to find a way to get back to the golf ball, which can be difficult. If we get everything too far in the heels, then we're going to have trouble efficiently moving the lead leg, okay? So we want to make sure everything is pre-positioned in the balls of the feet, which puts us in a good athletic position and allows us to make a dynamic golf swing all the way through. All right, so after we have our balance points at setup, from there, we're going to really need to learn how to move our pressure back and get into that dynamic flow state. So if I have my pressure in the balls of the feet at address, when I start back, I feel this right leg getting some extension and the trail hip moving up and back, okay? So from there, I'm going to have my pressure move more into the heels. When I get here, everything is starting to load. My hips are moving back, my shoulders are starting to move back, and I'm getting a big turn. That's putting my pressure more into the heels. Now, if I get in here and I start getting the lead side working efficiently, I'm going to set myself up to pivot very well. So the pressure starts and it's pushing into the balls of both feet. When I move back, I feel this lead knee move in towards my right knee. Pressure is going to move from there into the inside ball of that lead foot. So this lead knee is moving in, pressure's moved into the ball. Now my pressure in the trail foot is more into the heel. That's allowed everything to load up and get a big turn. And now I'm set up at the top to make a big explosive movement into the ground in the downswing, which is going to set me up for a lot more speed through the strike. So now we want to start talking about pressure movement in the downswing. We've loaded everything up. Everything is dynamic and we're ready to move. Now, the first thing I'm going to feel in my transition is that my pressure sits back. So I want my pressure in my right foot to stay more in the heel when I get that initial transition, okay? I'm not trying to move forward. I hate that movement out of players. I want to keep my pressure back. From there, it's going to slowly creep into the inside ball of the right foot in transition. That's a big movement pattern because we're setting ourselves up to push around the corner and get some vertical forces out of my trail foot. When I'm looking at my lead foot, the pressure is going to quickly move when I'm making that sit-down move into the outside ball of my lead foot. That's where my pressure is going, and that is setting up my lead foot for a big backwards push through impact, creating rotation, creating speed, and putting me in a dynamic position where I can really feel I'm hitting the ball with my lead shoulder versus getting in here and stalling everything out and throwing my hands. That push out towards the trail heel is important. So when I start down, by the time my club gets to about P5.5, I'm going to really feel that pressure in the inside ball of the right foot. And by then it's into the outside ball of the lead foot. From there, I get that explosion out of my lead foot while I'm pushing out of my trail foot. That's the explosive dynamic movement you want with pressure to start creating tons of speed through the strike. All right, so if we are going to look at the golf swing, we really want to make sure we get the pressure movement working properly. So in my backswing, I am loading into that inside heel. The pressure is moving into the inside ball of the lead foot. Boom, I'm getting that big load up there in the backswing. From there, I'm going to feel like I'm sitting down. Pressure starts and stays back for a little while in the trail foot, then rolls into the inside ball of the trail foot by about P5.5. Pressure's moving in initial transition into the outside ball of the lead foot, and then through impact, it's pushing hard up and back into the outside heel of the lead foot. If you can start moving pressure properly, you are going to be in a position where you start to make a lot more solid golf swings and get a lot more power. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Hey guys, if you like this video, please like and comment. I come out with new content every Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thanks a lot, you guys.